Hi, I'm Dave Mars with Conservation Tips. You know, doors get a lot of abuse and a lot of use, and they can be a sore spot in your conservation strategy. So today we're going to discuss various weather strippings you can do and how to install one. Of course, to aid your weather stripping of the door on the inside, having a storm door on the outside is also a good strategy. They come in a variety of shapes and sizes and price ranges. And the first thing you want to look at to make sure your door can fit a storm door is whether or not the jamb is square, because that's going to impair the installation of one. Also, then you want to look for a storm door that has, movable panes, because that way you don't have to go and get the screen, put it in, put the window in. This one is a self-storing window. You can drop it in the winter, raise it when you want those spring breezes to come in and out. The idea here is if you have an exterior door like this, it creates a dead air space, and that's also going to save you money. First thing you want to do is check the general condition of the door and the jamb. If there's any major splits or what have you, you might put some wood putty in there and make it look real good. We want to have something to put our weather stripping on. Also, notice this door has a little play in it. Well, that play is taken up when you're locking the door, so you want to make sure that when you put the weather stripping on that the door is in a locked position, or you might not be able to lock it once you put it on. When you take the old weather stripping off, and you can see from this door here that weather stripping's seen better days, you don't really need to have the old weather stripping on there. In fact, this is going to be in the way. So the next step is probably to go ahead and get rid of that old weather stripping and get ready for the new. Now when you go to the hardware store, you can see a variety of weather strips in a variety of price ranges. And basically you're going to get what you pay for. You can get to lighter weight foam strips like this that might do a nice job temporarily, but they're not going to last you very long. Another strip that's been an old standby for many, many, many years is what's called V-Flex. It's a flat piece of plastic. You fold it into a V. It's got some adhesive on this side. It mounts in such a way that as the door closes on it, the V stops the air from coming in. But it's plastic. It might not last you very long. You might have to replace it. Now the next kind of level of weather stripping that you'll find are a little more professional grade, where you have a vinyl bulb in a metal container like this. This is a nice narrow, good-looking strip. Comes in white and dark brown. But one problem I've had with this is that this is sort of hard vinyl, and as the winter progresses, it might get very, very stiff. It might get harder for you to close the door. So today we're going to put a strip on that I've had some experience with for the last 25 years. It's called Q-Line. It's kind of an odd name, but it has a vinyl-covered sponge rubber piece right there with a metal container. This also comes with a wood holder, which you might find more aesthetically pleasing. But what's nice about it is it's very flexible. So you can really snug it up to the door, and it's not going to get hard from season to season. It's going to keep those drafts out, and you're going to be happy with it for quite a long time. As you measure the height of the door, you want to transfer that dimension to your weather stripping, and then it's time to cut it. Okay, now once you have it cut to length, you want to set it on the side of the door. Of course, it's appropriate. And you want to touch the strip to the door so that it touches it a bit. We've got a good seal, but it's not that important because we're going to put these screws in these oblong holes here, and you'll have a little bit of a plane adjustment when we tighten them home and put it on permanently. Once you get your two side pieces in, you want to go ahead and put the cross piece on the top. Do a little measurement on this. It's about 30.5 inches. And sometimes the storm door apparatus like this will kind of get in the way, so you might try to move it, or you have to cut it out with the hacksaw to get the new piece on. Or to get this to fit, you might use a coping saw to cut this out more carefully than this, but we're just going to use the hacksaw today, and you got to cut this piece of weather stripping out of the way to fit it next to this end here. Now once you have your weather stripping set up close to the door, you want to go ahead and tighten all those screws, and if over time this gets a little bit out of adjustment, the thing that's nice about this strip is you can loosen those screws and readjust it. This strip will last you many, many, many years, helping you keep your conditioned air inside and the weather outside. And that's what we like to do at Conservation Tips, is help our community conserve and you to save money. This is Dave Mars at Conservation Tips. This is easy to do. Let's start doing it today. I'll see you next time.